Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. This new moon in Aquarius, at the very, very beginning, follows Saturn's movement into Sagittarius, and consequently draws our attention to it. Saturn in Sagittarius will be focusing us for the next 2.5 years on what we really believe, and the effects of our beliefs. And taking that globally, of course, we find ourselves tangled in all kinds of religious issues, and issues of personal rights, issues of survival needs, anything that is a principle. And in the process, we will be uncovering our assumptions, those things we assume to be the case, true, necessary, everybody ought to think like that kind of thing. So with the new moon in Aquarius, the emphasis is very much on individual human rights. And human includes everybody, no matter what their behaviour. Mercury and Venus are fairly close together, also in Aquarius. Opposing Jupiter, we're likely to find ourselves going for some very idealistic positions. So it seems to me the thing to bear in mind about individuals is that each spirit embodied deserves the same respect and honour and space and justice and all those things we feel we should have. But that does not mean the personality or behaviour of people. It's the spirit within that we need to honour, not personas, not egos, and not ideologies as expressed through people. Every day we are living through our personality, and every personality has a position, a space. We stand on our particular piece of ground on every level, which means that no one has access, exclusive access, to absolute truth, were we to know what that was. We all have some position, and perhaps the best we can do is expand our vision until we can see that all positions need to be included. I think this is what Aquarius is about. It's how to include all positions, how to make judgments without rejecting anything or anybody, how to make smooth running of day-to-day events without denying creativity or deep commitments. It's a tall order, but Jupiter opposite planets often makes a tall order on them. Against this, we have Mars having just reached and passed Neptune in Pisces. In the body, Mars is the solar plexus. It's the energy system which keeps each body going. It's therefore our motivation force. And in Pisces, together with Neptune who rules Pisces, it's wide open to the entire soup of human emotion and the sea of human pain. And in this chart it's shown as square to Saturn. Mars and Neptune both square Saturn. So any position of authority is liable to be attacked. And any authority figure is likely to feel extremely defensive, and attack is often the first form of defence. Mars went into Pisces about a week before this new moon, so in the last few days perhaps we have had some of the worst violence, at least according to the media coverage, that there has been for a while. In fact, I think it is just that the violence is brought into our living rooms more in a way that we in the West recognise. Because actually the violence is going on in these war-torn countries at least as bad, much worse than what we've seen in Europe lately. But coming to our notice is perhaps what this Mars square Saturn is about. And as Uranus is moving steadily towards the last square it's going to make to Pluto, the last of the 7 that we've had in these last few years since 2012, there is a sense of explosive energy that any individual might explode at any point. And the reasons for the explosion could be anything, anything from history, anything from any part of the world, anything from our own personal history and life, past lives. The motivation is not necessarily what's known. The actions are seen as having not enough motive. Our job, therefore, is to maintain a fair control of our own space, regularly making sure that we connect with our bodies and fill our own space up to our boundary with who we are and what we feel, as much as possible present time. We have to recognize what we really do feel, because anything that we don't recognize remains to be triggered by outside things. What we recognize we can keep within our space, so that all the hype and the world pain and the shock and horror can be seen by us but not taken in. If there is something you can do to help, then do it, and if not, maintain your space and your contact with your own light. Everything is held in spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything unrolls in its own way. So staying in touch with that broader image that all is contained, we reach our being towards that wholeness and help to soothe the difficult experiences in the world. Immediately after the new moon itself, Mercury starts to retrograde for its normal 20 days, which it does 3 times a year. So in the full moon chart, we see a retrograde Mercury, still in Aquarius, and it goes all the way back to the beginning of Aquarius. So a lot of rethinking, reassessing, establishing a different outlook, perhaps. Then as it goes forward, perhaps applying whatever solutions can be seen from a new outlook. Aquarius is innovative, new ideas, new solutions. Mercury sextiles Saturn at that time, just as the new moon did. So perhaps there is, from the full moon onwards, more understanding of what this time is about and how to deal with it. Mars will have moved on through Pisces over Chiron, and Venus has joined in, the power of spiritual loving. Difficult to include everyone, but the intention is what's important, the intention to include. With Mars over Chiron, we will be looking at the damage to humanity, and sextiling Pluto, transformational solutions are possible. And together they are pointing at Moon and Jupiter in Leo. As long as we keep open, positive sense that solutions are possible, and open the heart so that Aquarius is not experienced as just a coldness, a clinical solution to problems, but seen as really caring, really involved in wanting the best for everyone, then Uranus brings inspiration, the inspired individuals being heard. Let's go for that, and in ourselves let it be our own higher self, greater self, our soul, the inspired inner guide that leads us through personal difficulties. We are in the process of moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And it's interesting that this whole month shows the dichotomy between the two. What we need is to bring the love of Pisces through into the age of Aquarius, so that in backing off in order to get a bigger vision, we don't pull our heart and our caring out of the situation. It's keeping a contact between involvement and vision. And only an open heart can do that. The Aquarian open heart is capable of solving any of it. There is more differently expressed in the new moon letter on my website. Lift the wings of your mind out, wider, letting your eyes see a growing expanse of life. Stay linked to your body, as you sit or move about, and let your heart span the distance between feet and inner light. Your history is simply the ground beneath you, not intended to rise into your stomach or throat, but to be recognized as your unique viewing platform. Your beliefs are for your own strength and direction, as are the beliefs of each individual on earth. Go forward in kindness. It's the only way to reach the truth in another and in yourself, and never let fear be your guide. He knows only the land of shades and shadows. Trust your inner light.